Hello, and welcome to the lesson description video over learning to code. My name is Code-Ostorga, and in this video, you will review a high school classroom lesson plan on how to teach students to code. Coding in general terms is a computerized task that allows an individual to program a new software or creation. Coding is a lot like a language that tells a computer what to do. It involves complex computational thinking skills and can range from programming complex software to simple website programming. In the 21st century world, coding is becoming a growing needed skill in the workplace. Some of the most popular tasks involve embedding and using HTML code. Therefore, there is a need to ensure that students in today's classroom gain these computational thinking and coding skills. The lesson plan that we will review will discuss how students will learn to code in the classroom. The structure of the lesson to teach code will follow Stolovich and Keep's 5-step model. This model consists of sharing a rationale, objective, activities, evaluation, and feedback to complete a full lesson. Let's begin. Lesson rationale. The biology EOC review class, where these high school students are found, need and normally request to have a one-stop shop where they can access the review material at all times. To satisfy this request and need, students keep their activity and project assignments on an electronic portfolio. Students request activities that are unique, hands-on, and can still be digitally embedded on their e-portfolio. Therefore, in terms of the rationale, students will be offered an opportunity to use their code to create a unique project with Scratch to upload to their e-portfolio. Combined with the need to learn coding skills, students will then be presented with the objective. The lesson objective is as follows. The learner will create and describe a story in Scratch that explains the steps, rules, and mutations that take place with transcription and translation. The lesson activities are as follows. The lesson will begin with a direct instruction over transcription, translation, and mutations. Once these basics of the biology lesson are complete, the student will move on to the best practices activities where they will use code. Students will use Scratch to develop an interactive game or storyline that aids a student in reviewing the main components of the biology concept. Once complete, students will embed the project on their electronic portfolios. During this project, students will use Screencastify to record their screen and coding to share their experience and/or problems they may run into on the class flip grid. This will allow students to share and collaborate on similar coding challenges that may occur during their design. To learn the steps of coding, students will be asked to complete the coding tutorial on Scratch. This tutorial will review the Scratch Coding Studio, where to find various resources such as backgrounds and avatars, how to use organized tabs that give coding blocks for specific actions in the software, and examples of how to use and execute basic commands of code. Students will have full control over the tutorial, and for every step of the tutorial, students will have a visual preview of what they are supposed to do or click. Once students have completed the tutorial, they will begin working on their storyboard, design, and code with Scratch. Evaluation and feedback. For evaluation and feedback purposes, students will be provided with a detailed rubric. This rubric will have many categories that the students must demonstrate mastery in. Every category will have a set of points that will be assigned based on the student's work and an area for teacher feedback on each category. These categories for the rubric are biology concepts, transcription, translation, and mutations, storyboard design, programming with Scratch, posting in Flipgrid, peer feedback participation in Flipgrid, posting completed project on their e-portfolio, and submitting project to the teacher. Once students have completed their project, they will be required to upload it to their electronic portfolio and then send it to the instructor via email. Rubrics will be distributed with the overall grade for the project and feedback for each category. Feedback will range between recommendations for improvement to commendations on exceptionally executed categories. To conclude, remember that when designing a lesson for students to code, there has to be a rationale and underlying reason students would code. Once students are motivated, they should be guided through the coding process through a series of steps and aids. If a tutorial does not exist for the coding tool used for a lesson, a coding tutorial with visual aids and clear expectations should be created to use for teaching the process of code. Students should also be provided with an opportunity to socially discuss the coding process, given that debugging can be very challenging for many learners. Feedback should be provided during the social engagement in the learning process, and learners should also be assessed to ensure the objective is met. By implementing an approach such as this, learners should be able to not only learn code, but excel exceptionally. This concludes our review of a high school classroom lesson plan on how to teach students to code. References for this video are as follows.